It's your girl A-Dub. First time on the mic, first time on the camera. And I am introducing my brand new podcast, Sex in Our 60s. Sex in Our 60s. That's what we're landing on. I am brand new to this game and very nervous. I had no intentions of going on camera, but on the advice of some other podcasting folks, I decided to do that. So that just adds another layer of nervousness. So I appreciate y'all just letting me roll here. Yeah, my name is A-Dub. I'm a 62-year-old with the spirit of a 38-year-old, and energy of a 40-something, recently single. And I have been wanting to do a podcast about helping Black women in particular um, find their peace, their serenity, their joy, all of that. And I had started out as like kind of this woo-woo thing, and now I've gone full circle to the real true deal, Andy, the Buck Wild Gemini. What I'm going to be helping you with or talking about right now, we're going to call this, like I said, sex in our 60s. And for me and for you, I have been your tour guide, your guinea pig, your whatever you want to call it, to the apps. I've been on the dating apps for about 2 years now, and boy, it's been something. So I just want you to sit back, give me a listen, and while I work through this. So yeah. So I've been on these apps. You know, I've done the Hinge, I've done Bumble, I've done Facebook. And essentially it's all the same nonsense, y'all. It's all the same nonsense. You know, we are sold, that our men are out there, that we're going to find our Prince Charming, our partner in crime, all of that. And thus far, I've not found that. So, but I got some really interesting stories. I got a really interesting vibe off of how this works. And maybe I can be, the person that, gives you a breakthrough or you try or whatever, try it out. So, first off, let's talk about what happens in those first couple of weeks, those first few days. I was taken by so many, what do we call them, bots? And these are fake, completely fake. They look great. The men have these wonderful stories to tell, and there's nothing true to that. And so that was fun. That was about my first week. I was always calling my girlfriends like, I've met the one. He's tall. He's handsome. He's from here. He's all this. And then I, being the old fashioned woman, I said, let's talk. And that's when all hell broke loose. And that's when it all broke down. And they were like, so I don't speak very good English. I mean, it was all this craziness. And I'm like, what is going on? I had no idea. No one tells you this. No one tells you this. This is stuff you learn on your own. So you're getting it from me, people. So that was my first kind of few experiences, and you know, just silliness, right? Finally, I started getting a few likes and conversations going with actual people. My preference is brothers, Black men. But I will check out a white dude or two, gonna be honest. That's generally a money play. They probably won't like to hear that, and I probably will never talk to another white dude again based on that. But that's kind of where it's at. Now the brothers, oh boy, they're all over the spectrum. My list, my list, as one of my friends tells me, my guy friends says, that is bullshit. There's no list. You've got to just understand that this is kind of a playground. It's a playground for lonely men. It's a playground for freaky men. It's a program for men who have no idea why they're here. That is what this is all about. So, once you start figuring that out, it becomes a whole different ball game. Now, mind you, I really didn't, come to terms with this until this year. And I've been doing this, like I said, about 2 years. And the first year was just, kind of hit or miss, interesting, some interesting people, and I'll run those down for you a little bit. We're going to take our time here because, there's a lot going on, and I'm a people person. So even if I don't think that this person's going to be a fit or that I have anything in common with them, I will talk to them. I will see what the nonsense is all about. Once I decided that I was going to do that, it became this kind of mindset of, this is a game and I play it, once a week, maybe every couple of weeks. And I just kind of scroll through, hit a like, hit a, bunch of non-likes. Oh boy, the apps, they do not play when it comes to your profile. They have no idea what they're doing. There are so many wrong people, conservatives and old craggly white men and, only brothers and like I said, fake people and so much stuff. There's literally no protection for you. So you have to go in with that in mind. Understand that it ain't happening. It's likely, I mean, I can't imagine, we know, my friends and I, we know of people who have met their person online. I can't imagine how many people that they had to go through. And maybe the game's changed, as people get more aware or just want to try something out. Maybe the game's changed in the last couple of years. Probably for me, it probably has. So and I bear with me regarding my problems with camera positioning. I am terrible at this. My friends get on me all the time. Like, Andy, are you looking at the camera? I'm like, yes, and they're like, no, you're not. So anyway, so yeah, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it a little bit. Well, I'll give you some insights and some people that I've met in my first year. So I met a really cool guy, and generally want people in my area. So I met a really nice gentleman. His name is Roger, and we call him Roger Dodger because he is a aeronautical engineer, and he taught ROTC, who was I believe he was a major or a colonel in the Air Force. So super smart and actually really funny guy. We had a lot of laughs. We talked for hours and hours and hours. We would talk, and we probably talked about probably 2 weeks or so, and then set up a meeting. And we had again really great time. He really is a good guy, but he wasn't exactly my type. He was not of height. I prefer my guys to be around 6 feet. I'm not super tall myself. I'm 5'7", but I want a tall man. I want a man who I feel is going to be able to protect me in some form or fashion, right? If there's something happening on the street, he can get me out of the way. So, that's my own bias, as it were, but what the hell? So, but Roger Dodger, he was from New York. He was from immigrant parents, which were some of my things that I thought I wanted on my list. And he was smart and he had money. And, he did lots of stuff, but dude was busy, stayed busy. And we talked about that because really, he was staying busy to avoid, being hurt or being in a relationship or anything like that. Anyway, so we had a really nice date at one of my favorite restaurants. He came here. That's been kind of the hallmark of my dating life. Men will come and meet me. He was about an hour or so away, and we met during the day, had a nice brunch, great conversation, and went back to, talking and this, that, and the other. Now, mind you, he did not make a move. We did hug. I'm a hugger. So if you meet me, I'm likely going to hug you, and it doesn't require you to do anything. I'm just that girl, especially if we've talked about, all of our life and, hopes, dreams, aspirations, as I always say. So he and I, we went back to our, respective homes and kept talking, right? So I, being the somewhat generous girl that I can be, I had an opportunity to go to another one of my favorite restaurants. I had a guest card for two. So I invited him. This was dinner. I invited him to go with me. Well, for so at brunch he was in jeans, he was this, that, and the other. I'm giving him a little bit of leeway, a little space on that, but he knew we were going to dinner and he kind of knew what the restaurant was. It's not, it's not fast casual, and it's not high post, but you're going on a date. I put my best look on. I was looking cute, boobs up, hair done, da 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 da. I'm looking cute. Not that I don't always look cute, but I was looking date cute, nighttime date cute, right? So he shows up and he's dressed like, I don't know, a college professor. He had on, he was dressed like an engineer. That's what he dressed like, which, okay. Yeah. Get it. Like he had a short sleeve shirt, dress shirt with short sleeves. I'm like, I didn't know people still wore those. I all he was missing was a pocket protector, right? And he comes in and these shows, they tell you, like, if you see like The Bachelor and The Golden Bachelor and all that, this man's going to show up. He's going to be all in his romantic game. He's going to bring you flowers or some sort of gift. No. And mind you, he's getting a free dinner. Okay. Free full dinner. So nonetheless, he comes and, he just sits down, talks, no compliment, no nothing, just starts talking, which, okay. So, we went on, had our conversation, had dinner. Somehow or another, at some point in the meal, the talk turned to our sizes. And this gentleman, and I may have brought it on myself. I have no idea. Sometimes I just get to talking. I have my little bit of, my little wine, my sangria. This place has the best sangria. So I might have been just running my mouth. I don't know. But this man had the audacity to ask me, how much do I weigh? I was like, huh? I said, honey, nobody but me and my doctor know how much I actually weigh. Um, he kind of got a little flustered. He said, "Oh, and you look really good, by the way." I'm like, oh, thanks. Okay, now we're where we back where we started, where he should have started from the get go. So anyway, so later in the conversation, because he's a small dude. I mean, he said he was 5'8". Maybe on his best day. I don't know. He was about my height. Um, and so I asked, and he was slim. He was very skinny. And I asked him. I said, "Well, how much do you weigh?" And he said about a buck 70. Well, I ain't a buck 70. I'm trying to get there, but I weigh more than him, and that was not a look. I was not happy about that at all. But again, nice dinner, fine, right? But things were kind of going downhill with he and I. He was not trying to, he wanted to be a friend. He wanted to yuck it up. He never invited me anywhere. It was just, there was nothing happening. There was no there. And you'll hear that a lot from me. No there. Well, so he drove a Tesla. He drives a Tesla, and I had him drive me home. I Ubered in, and then I had him take me home, which everybody was freaking out. Like, are you kidding me? You can't let that dude come to your house or whatever, honey, whatever. He's a buck 70. I might have been able to take him. Anyway, Roger Dodger. He takes me home. He shows me how the Tesla drives by itself. He loves travels. He drove, he would do that part, the non-driving part, or I mean, whatever, automatic driver. I don't know what you call it. I don't have it. Anyway, so he takes me home and got out of the car, walked me to the door. And, I didn't know what he was going to do. I thought, well, he might go in for a kiss. Well, he sort of did. I turned my head to the side and he kind of caught me here and here. All right, we might as well shake hands because there was nothing was happening. It was a wrap. It was a complete and utter wrap. I mean, dude, it came weird. He didn't, he wasn't trying to show his best, which we'll talk about that as we go along. But Roger Dodger, I haven't talked to him since. He did move to New York. I think we may have talked one other time. He moved back to he was from New York and he moved back to be with his friends, his family, his parents, and all this. And nonetheless, I've not talked to Roger in probably a year and a half, I would think. So that was my first actual date and very interesting, to say the least, a learning experience. I don't think I've actually learned my lesson yet, but I know I haven't because I still expect these dudes to show up right, and thus far it hasn't been great, but you know what? It's been fun. It's been interesting, and I tell people I kind of view things very anthropologically. So, everything's an experience, everything is content, everything is information. And that's kind of how I view these dates. So, that is how things have been going. And I don't want to spend all the time. I have lots of details and stuff for you guys. I'm a very spiritual woman and I am out here looking for the one. I'm manifesting. I'm, doing the positive affirmations. I'm doing all of that. But I'm seriously happy to be doing this. This is, I believe, my calling. I hit the right spot. I have to thank, 3 people for getting me here, and that's my girl VJ and her cousin Nat and her partner in crime, Jay. And they were some of the most inspirational, helpful people who got me here. I haven't recorded. It took me this long. Probably I've been threatening to do this for like a year, and I finally did it. I put it out there. I don't know if it's going to go online or not. It can, but I'm going to need some help on the back end with some of the technology. But I'm super happy to be here. I hope that you guys enjoy this moment with me. Again, it's Sex in Our 60s. I'm going to sign off. And you can find me online. I'll be on Spotify. I'll be on, I believe, on Apple, and I believe on YouTube. If I can get my act together, it will. So, but I love y'all. I appreciate y'all and look forward to seeing me soon. All right. Thanks. Bye.